Hello and welcome to 4x4 off-road racing by Epix, and this is a sort of later era Epix game, so it's very rare that they had produced a decent game around about this time, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and see what it's like. There is a lot of loading in this game, so I've got the True Drive emulation turned off on the emulator. I do actually have the cassette version of this as well, and cassette version is very long and very boring, and I think there's only 2 tracks in the cassette version, one on each side of the tape. So in this version you can select up to 4 tracks. We'll go for winter, why not? And what you can do is, after you select the track, you can select your ability. If you select beginner, then you don't have to stop to repair damage and things like that, and you get quite a tough truck. If you go for amateur or semi-professional, professional, it's obviously gets harder the higher you go. And you can pick up to, I think there's 4 different trucks. Each has got their own pros and cons. I'll go for this one. So once you've picked your truck, you start at the just outside the truck. You're on the high street. You can go in the custom shop. You control this little guy here. So I'm in the custom shop. You can pick different types of tyres. You pick a box. It's called a what's it called? A cap, I think it's called in the manual. But it's basically a box. You can put more stuff in if you've got one. But it also weighs the truck down. You can pick an extra fuel tank if you want. A winch is quite handy. If you get stuck in the snow or mud, you can press fire, or just hold down fire, and it'll take you out. If you don't have one, you've got to rapidly tap fire to sort of feather the throttle to sort of get you out. It takes you a bit longer. We'll go for the all-terrain tyre. Now you've only got a limited amount of cash to start with, so you can't buy everything. And you can go in the Automart, you can buy a few more bits and bobs. You can actually buy a mechanic to come alongside with you. That speeds up repairs quite a lot, but it's quite expensive. There's various other bits and bobs like a map. The map isn't for some reason you can't access the repair screen or the map screen on the cassette version because it loads in separately. So I'm not quite sure why they're there, but you can still buy them. It's a bit odd. Buy spare tyres, tools, flashlight speeds up repairs, all sorts. If you don't have these particular parts, you can still repair your car, but the repairs take longer. Okay, let's get going. That's enough of that. I've not spent all my money, but the more you have, the more you bog down the truck with the weight of the extra items. So, right, so we're at the starting line, and it's fire to accelerate. We're off. So the road routine itself is actually okay. I mean, it's decent enough. It's not the best one I've seen on the 64, but it works reasonably well, I think, and it's fast enough. The graphics themselves are a bit sparse and they're not very well detailed, but it's certainly not Super Psycho. Let's put it that way. It's a long way from Super Psycho. That was a far better game than this. So you can see the gameplay. It's pretty much this is where we get stuck. We use the winch here to pull ourselves out. Yeah, it's pretty much the game is pretty much sort of inspired by Buggy Boy. So you've got a little bouncing truck, and you can go on 2 wheels and go in the air, that sort of thing. You can change direction in mid-air, which I find a bit odd. Never mind, The truck itself is okay. okay. It's not, I wouldn't say it was brilliantly drawn, but it's okay. So we've taken damage, we're stopping for repairs. So we can access the map at this point. It shows where we are on the track as well. Yeah, you can't do this in the cassette version for some reason. Viewing your map took 3 minutes. So electrical failure, so we can use the tools. Repair took 20 minutes. Let's get back in the race. It tells you our position 16th. So the races themselves are quite long. I think this is really where the problem lies, because it's just not fun or interesting enough to keep your attention. And the races take ages to get through, which is good on the cassette version because it takes so long to load in, but the gameplay's just not good enough to hold your interest, I think, to be honest. I've lost a truck there. You get 3 lives or 3 trucks. Yeah, I mean, also there's a bit more depth than there is in Buggy Boy in terms of the add-ons and repairs and things like that. But I mean, the gameplay is just not as much fun. You know, it's not really. Yeah, it's all very well having more depth, but if the core of the game isn't that great, then it's just pointless, really. Water hazard. Use the winch. To be fair, I mean, there's not too many of these sort of off-road games on the C64. Obviously, you get Buggy Boy, and that's about it, really, in terms of sort of you know, sort of third-person into the screen sort of view. Oh, fork in the road there, so that's good. The choice of route. Forgot about that. The cars are a little flat. You never see any more perspective on them when they turn. So they tend to look a bit flat. But yeah, but that's pretty much the game. I mean, there's different terrains. There's muds and desert, but it boils down to the same game, to be honest. Hey, we're hopefully not last now. Yep, so that's 4x4 racing for you. It's okay. I mean, you know, I don't think it's a bad game really, and just the loading is quite bad, but the gameplay itself is okay. But it's just not a particularly good game. So I'll give it 5.5 out of 10 because just fairly average-ish, maybe a little better than average, but it's certainly. I don't think it'll hold your attention for long, to be honest. It's not a game you're going to come back to over and over again. In my opinion, you're just better sticking with Buggy Boy. Right, that's 5.5 out of 10, and see you in the next video.